No, Malak. It's okay. It'll just be a quick visit. Don't worry about it. But, come on now, Robbie. We just got here. This is a perfect... Yeah, I know. But don't worry. It's very quick. We'll be back in just a second. They need... Oh, hey, hello, listeners. I'm so sorry. It's one of those things. You have... Communication is key, and Malak and I were just having a conversation. Do not worry about it. I will say, we might be going away just for a little while, as we are needed elsewhere. But you will hear about that soon enough. For now, let's let Rain explain what happened last time.
Last time on the Swordcast Adventures, the guy from the orphanage, Bhuvoz, I think his name was, is trying to accuse us of assaulting him in the swamp, which we all know is bullshit.
See, I tell you. Last time I tell you, he not to be trusted.
It's true, you were right, Loud Scout.
He bad man.
Yes, you're totally right. You gotta let me finish the picture, though.
I tell you, nobody listened.
I listened. I believed you. Anyway, he even got the guard involved. The head of the guard, Salk, took us aside to answer some questions. Luckily, Metolius had the bright idea to cast Zone of Truth on all of us, which made me a little nervous. There's still a lot these guys don't really know about me. But we managed to back Bhuvoz into a corner by asking him if he took the kids to the frogmen. He refused to answer, and Salk locked him up to question him later himself or whatever. Salk offers us a chance to go clean up the swamp of these frog guys, and will give us gold for every hand we bring back. I mean, fuck yeah, finally a mission with an actual promise of money at the end. That's all I've been looking for this whole time. But before we head out to the swamp, we're going to get a chance to look through this orphanage and try to figure out what this creep is up to.
Thank you, Rain, for that. So, as we left last time, Elduin stepped out and used Teak to view the grounds, and as he did, he saw a young tiefling boy standing, looking down upon him and his bird, with a bit of concern in his eye.
Why do you have your bird out in public, bro?
In front of children!
Yeah, I'd be concerned too.
It's a fairy, don't worry.
And as he kind of steps away from the window, as you notice him, and he notices your owl paying more attention to him.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to encourage Teak to come a little closer and just but not within reach, but just come over and coo a little bit.
On you?
No, to the tiefling.
There are no places for him to land, but he can.
Can you I don't know if owls can.
I don't think they can. I don't think they can flap in place.
Hover. Okay. I'll just have him get a little bit closer and see if he sees anything other.
Sure.
Anything new.
You see the boy turn the corner out of the room, and the room seems like a bedroom of some kind.
Is it? It's second floor.
This third floor.
Third floor. Wait, how many floors are on this?
There's a ground, and then two above.
Okay, so this is the highest
floor.
floor.
And from what we've gathered, also a basement.
Okay, cool.
This is the highest floor.
Well, then I will have Teak swoop away.
Sure.
Go somewhere else.
And so you are all on the ground level. The guards seem to be more posted at the door. And you see the guards kind of look at you, and they chime in and go, "It's Argon. It's fine. You, please, search the grounds. Bring back anything you find. We will keep an eye and make sure everything stays safe and no one enters.
Righto.
Or no one leaves, for that matter."
I guess we'll split up.
I go with you to basement.
Basement it is.
Okay.
Yeah, of course Last Cat's going to the basement. That makes sense. You got that, buddy.
So then Metolius and Loudscout. Eldon, are you continuing to walk the grounds, or are you coming back in?
Once I would like to complete a circle around the grounds, and then I'll head back into inside once I've done with that.
Yep, you did. You
cool.
completed the full circle.
I'm gonna so everybody else is off doing stuff, right? You're not in the main entryway.
Well, actually, we are basically.
We're just about to split up and do that.
They were discussing everyone walked in and you stayed outside and let Teak
do a fly around.
Okay, I figured you guys had split by the time I came back inside. But,
Nope.
okay, well then I'm just gonna say there was a boy who looked like who was somewhat concerned up on the second floor. I would like to go up and just say hello.
All right.
I'll go. I'm great with kids.
Right. Yes. Come, Grimtuck. Let's us go together.
But of course.
Okay, that's 2 going up to where you saw the boy.
So the third floor.
Effectively.
I'll head straight for the bedroom.
Hey, no.
Hey.
Heyo.
No, but you'll head straight for Bhuvoz's bedroom.
Yeah, Duvoz's. You said that was on the first floor,
Yep,
right?
right down the and again, it's just down the hallway.
Okay.
To your right. Okay, and that covers everyone. So yeah, Eldwin and Grimtuck find the staircase up. You make it to the second floor and find 2 children playing in the hall with what seems to be little pewter figures of some kind. They look like soldiers and that kind of thing. One is a young tabaxi with almost leopard-like spots down him. The other seems to be bright red of skin and his hair almost burns in an orange light.
Wow, it has very
Sorry.
eclectic children.
Can I roll to see if I know what race that?
Sure.
Do we even need
fire
to
chair-
roll?
Roll
Do we know?
nature. Roll nature.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Never mind.
Critical fail.
I don't know.
Neither of you have actually ever seen what the child in red is, but you do know actually Grimtuck. You came face to face with a tabaxi recently and recognized kind of the kind of lanky features even in the children.
Okay.
The young orange-haired one kind of looks at you and goes, "Who are you?"
Grimtuck is going to sit down cross-legged so he's not just towering above the children
Good plan.
because he's very big, and say, "Children, come here. We must have words."
This is not Grimtuck. This is not the one that I saw. These are not one of the children that I saw.
Regardless, these children are going through, let's just say, their benefactor is no longer going to be here.
Shh, they don't necessarily know that yet.
They deserve honesty. Children! Please, sit.
They
Not unkindly. He's not
No.
working it at them.
I know.
the small cat child kind of sidles up next to you, and the orange-haired one kind of sits down and goes, "What do you want?"
Are you familiar with Fane, good song? Of the chapel.
Oh, Granny Goodsong? Yeah,
Yes.
we know her. She's really nice.
She will be looking after you from now on. Mr. Bhuvoz is his name, will not be coming around.
Oh, okay. Well,
But
why?
It's difficult to explain, but Fane has been decided to be much better capable of taking care of you and the other children.
But why?
She's very nice.
But where's Ger?
I was hoping you could let me know if you know anything about Ger.
He's very nice. He brings us toys. He feeds us. He takes care of us. He gives us clothing and a house and tells us we're all family.
Does he treat all of the children well?
He treats us very well.
He's not mean to any of the kids.
He's not mean to us.
Well, that's good. Well, believe that Mr. Bhuvoz is just possibly busy or away on other business. It's hard for Grimtuck to lie to kids, I guess.
What kind of business?
It's very difficult to say. I don't much understand business. But if you could
Neither
give
do
me
I.
I'm not very good at it.
No.
So, if you could, do us a favor. Gather all of the children and follow me downstairs. We're going to go outside and play a game while my friends look at
Grimtuck, no, Grimtuck. We should. There will be time for this later. We should.
I'm not going to tear apart this house and dig through everyone's things with the children watching.
What?
Man, you
As the orange-haired child and the small cat kid
not be allowed around children.
rush down
That is
Try to help.
awesome.
the stairs.
Man.
We don't make a good team, is what it is when it comes to this stuff.
You see another small, like, 2 little hands and a small face kind of poke out through the railing on the staircase. Almost seems to be like a small young male halfling. So tiny. And he kind of goes, who are you guys?
This is Grimtuck. He likes to play sword. Have you ever played sword before? Do you have any toy swords, perhaps? I'm sure Grimtuck would like to show you some toy sword tricks.
He goes, yeah. And he kind of, you hear, and he kind of rushes down and he kind of like holds it up.
Yeah. Eldon is going to take that, and he's like, Grimtuck, would you mind showing them some toy sword tricks? And please don't hurt them.
Jesus. Who do you think I am? I have 11 younger brothers and sisters. So he goes downstairs and just pretty much tries to just corral the kids out of the house.
This would be, well, okay.
We're still upstairs.
This is one kid in front of you because the other 2 ran away.
That's fine.
So he's like standing there with his toy sword like, I want to see a trick.
Fine. But there's not enough room in here. I'm very big. Let us go downstairs.
He kind of looks up and he's like, you are. Because he catches you about the knee.
And plus, I have this whole bag of marbles. He holds up his ball bearings, and nobody to help me play with them.
And his eyes just go. And he kind of puts out his hands.
And so, come! And he's just going to go downstairs, holding the bag of marbles, and say, we must play on the flat ground in the kitchen.
And he kind of rushes down, just excitedly.
Elduin is going to walk with them to the top of the stairs and then, like, sneakily turn around and head back the other direction.
So Grimtuck and the small halfling child rushes downstairs, and he's just like,
How are you unsupervised? What have you done?
and he's just almost dancing around your feet, excited about...
We're going to go play and try and get the other kids to not be around while we're
So-
rummaging through their house.
You all meet them in the kitchen. That all happens.
Yeah.
As Elduin continues upstairs.
I'm going to, head up to the second floor and try and find this tiefling that
Okay.
piqued my interest.
That sounds...
No! No!
I'm just
How
saying.
bad are
Your
you
words?
dealing with this child?
No!
Anyways, so you walk up the stairs. You take a second and you notice just rooms. There seem to be almost, well, let's see. There's about 8 rooms, all furnished to be bedrooms. 1 or 2 having double beds in them. And you keep looking through here and there. You don't see the tiefling until you make it to the end of the hall on the top floor. There seems to be a room which looks almost like not specifically a study, but a studying room, as though a place where the children are taught. And you see that same young tiefling. He's probably in his teens now. So he's definitely not as young as any of the other children you see. But he kind of sits there and he's just kind of scribbling, maybe drawing or something on this small wooden desk.
Careful. He's angsty.
Angsty teenager?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I'm just going to say, excuse me,
Our game is rife with angsty tieflings.
Rife with it.
rife with it. Excuse me, I was wondering, might I be able to ask you a few questions?
He kind of looks at you and goes, oh yeah, you're the one with the bird, correct?
Yes, that's right. Teak is sort of on my shoulder.
Sure. I think you could ask me a couple questions. What?
Yeah, you seem like you've been... How long have you been here, I guess? Let's start.
A good few years.
Yes. What do you make of Mr. Bhuvoz?
He's okay.
Okay. Huh. Interesting. Well, it seems that he got himself into a bit of trouble, and was wondering...
Trouble? What kind?
The law is attempting to figure that out right now. I'm not in a position to say for sure, but I was just curious if there were any rumors about him, or what did the children think of him?
Well, the children love him. That's unquestionable. You heard them say it.
Does not feel like you included yourself in that. What do you think of Mr. Bhuvoz? I'm gonna insight check him.
Sure.
That is cocked as hell.
He kind of looks at you and goes, he keeps a roof over our heads. I'm not his biggest fan, but I don't have to be. I'm not trying to play favorites or anything.
That was an 18 to insight.
He is telling the truth, but obviously not just expunging everything.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of like looks at you and goes, I don't know much, but I do know that I don't like how much time he spends in the basement.
Interesting.
It's a concern.
And what makes you concerned with that?
There's nothing in the basement.
That is strange. Interesting.
I've looked. There's nothing. There's a small couple boxes with a bit of grain, and he keeps going down there, and he spends hours down there. I don't like it. It doesn't make me feel comfortable.
Interesting. And you are no doubt aware of that there are some children that have gone missing?
Yes.
What do you know about that? Who went missing, and was there anything odd about their circumstance?
I mean, one day they were here, the next day I hear they had run off.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see them or anything.
I see. And I don't suppose you could show me what this area that Mr. Bhuvoz was interested in the basement? You said there was a particular area that he was interested in?
No, it's a basement. It's a single room. You can go down and look yourself.
I see.
Just the stairs are in the kitchen. If you want to go down and look.
I see. Thank you. I appreciate your help. Good day.
Yeah. And he just continues back with his work. What he was doing.
Okay. I'm going to, with this new information, head down to I'm going to head towards the basement and see if I see any of my comrades on the way down.
Well, so Grimtuck's in the kitchen with Dinah. Who would like to go first? Who would it, Rain or Loud Scout and
I have no preference.
Go for it, Rain.
Okay.
Let's go from top down.
Sure.
So
yeah, we're going highest most, then to the next where you are.
Yeah.
So Rain, you travel down to his
Wes
room.
Anderson in here.
First of all, I just want to note that we may have fucked up by letting the rogue go in there by herself.
Whatever.
No.
Not anything valuable.
I trust the person who won't tell us her real name.
So you make it to the door at the end of the hallway.
Implicitly trust this person.
Or why she doesn't like cops.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
You make it to the
Or
end of the hallway.
harbors.
You make it to the end of the hallway. You open the door.
Yeah.
It is not locked.
Okay.
Basic door, simple. You open to a room. There seems to be a small bookshelf on one side.
Okay.
Next to it seems to be a writing desk, chair,
Okay.
inkwell, a small candle, and then on the far end below, what looks like just a window, seems to be a basic straw bed.
Okay.
Pretty plain.
Are there any drawers that go with the desk?
There are a few.
Okay, I'd like to check there first.
Okay. So roll an investigation.
Yes, sir. So that would be a 12.
12?
Yeah.
So you start to rifle through the drawers. You find a few papers. Most of them seem to be notations and somewhat like bills and things that he needs to keep up with.
Okay.
You find a few notes of lists like what he needs for the orphanage, things like that.
Okay, nothing out of the ordinary.
Not in that drawer. You want to roll for one more drawer
Yeah, sure.
for the other two?
15 for the next one.
Okay. And you rifle through. You find not much. You find a few notations of just a transfer, basically blank adoption papers.
Okay.
In one, and again a few bits of more writing implements as you go. There is a small bag of coin at the back of the bottom drawer. It holds about 88 silver. Seems to be just like a stashed away fund, just in case.
I'm not gonna fuck with the situation for 88 silver. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So I leave it. I leave that.
Yeah, you don't really find anything in the desk.
Okay. And those are all the drawers?
Those are all the drawers.
Okay. I'm gonna
Time to roll a quarters.
do the perimeter of the room. And are the walls stone or brick?
Stone.
Okay. I'm gonna see if there's like anything that seems out of the ordinary, any stones that are
Sure.
a different color or like indented weird
Perception.
or anything like that.
Perception, please.
You got it. 18.
No, doesn't seem to be out of place.
Okay. I'm gonna lift up the bed and see
Sure.
if there's anything underneath.
Okay, I want you to roll a strength check to lift, or just look under.
Yeah, look under. Like, well, I thought you said it was a straw bed. So I
Well,
just kinda
straw bed
pictured,
with a
like-
frame.
Okay. So, yeah, no, like look underneath. I don't need to lift it.
Okay. There seems to be like a long chest, seemingly the length of the bed, just between the two posts.
I'll pull that out if I can.
Sure.
Okay.
Filled with, you open it up. Once again, no lock, just a latch, and you open it. It seems to be his clothing.
Okay.
Basic wares, nothing fancy.
All right. Are there any rugs in the room?
Nope.
Damn. All right. Pretty
The only other
squeaky.
thing you haven't checked is the bookshelf.
Oh, that's true. Bookshelf.
Yeah.
I'll check that. I mean, I guess I'm just gonna kind of like go through the spines really quick, see if I see anything out of place.
Perception.
6.
Nothing seems really out of place. No, they all seem to have a bit of dust, as though they haven't been read in a little bit, but nothing like odd, just as though he hasn't had time to read.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess if that's it, I'd probably leave the bedroom.
Sure.
At least.
And a lot of them just seem to be more written fiction of heroic stories and things like that. It doesn't
Yeah,
seem to be...
like-
Nothing jumps out at you by any means other than entertainment.
Cool. Like no weird like journals or spell books or.
No?
Okay. I mean, yeah, I guess I was expecting more to be there to be more to this room, and if there's not, I'd probably move on and continue to search like a perimeter check of at least the first floor, knowing that we've had people go upstairs and downstairs.
Sure.
And I guess just do a perimeter check and see if I see any rooms that like don't seem to pertain to directly the children. Like,
Okay.
see if there's any other offices or closets or anything like that.
Sure. Investigation, then.
20, not natural.
In your quick check throughout the house, especially on the first floor, I'm guessing you don't go any higher.
Not right now, no.
Okay. You only find you find a dining room long with a closet that seems to house a few extra bits of silver and plateware. You find the kitchen where Grimtuck is now playing with his ball bearings and the 3 kids, 2 of them kind of seemingly at unease with him, but and you have a nice smell of food cooking on the hearth. Just as it cooks over the fire, you see a roast kind of turning.
Okay.
But otherwise, there just seems to be the entryway gives way to like a small den, but you don't find anything really out of place on this floor.
Okay.
Nothing odd other than Grimtuck playing marbles with ball bearings, where you look at him and go, I could use those.
Yeah.
Buy your own.
She didn't say anything.
Alright, well, if there's nothing out of place on this floor. And was that, do I know, was it only Elduin that went upstairs?
Elduin and Grimtuck went upstairs. Elduin seems to be the only one that's still up there.
Okay, because I saw Grimtuck in the kitchen.
And at this point, I mean, Metolius and Latsuga would have already made it downstairs, correct?
Right.
So you don't see them. You see the door.
Yeah, but I do know that you guys went to the basement, right?
Yes,
And
and
I
you
know that
see
you guys
the-
went together.
The door in the kitchen open.
Okay. So at that point, I would probably head upstairs.
Okay. And at that point, you and Elduin kind of pass.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna flag her when she's passing.
Cool. And then we will turn the camera to Loudscat and Metolius. You two open the door. You walk in to find Fane sitting there, beginning to cook food at this point, as we kind of jump back in the time.
Yeah.
She goes, "Oh, were you two going to help me cook? What are you doing?"
We wanted to have a look at the basement.
"Oh, it's right through that door right there.
All right.
Not that one. That's the pantry. It's the one.
Thank you very much.
Not a problem."
And then open it.
It's a dark staircase down. Wooden.
I hold the door for my friend.
Okay.
Loud Scout scampers down the stairs.
Just happy as can be, heading down underground.
You feel rejuvenated, Loud Scout.
I descend and I close the door behind me.
Okay.
Scout cast comfort zone.
Then I apologize.
Loud Scout. Oh.
I just wanted to.
Well, then I apologize. I rescind what I previously said, that Rain does not find the door open.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I think I still know you guys went down there.
Yeah. Yeah, just descend
Sure.
into the darkness.
So
Well-
Loud Scout goes down the stairs, and once he hits the bottom, he pulls out a bottle of brandy and takes a drink, and then hands it to Metolius as he comes down the stairs.
And you both have dark vision. You both can see at least within 60 feet of yourselves as though low light.
I accept and drink.
And then he looks around, and what do we see?
So, you see walls of stone, molding as though it was once dirt, now placed stone. You see the ground is dusty, but still solid, not just like dirt floors. And you see a few crates, small, one that seems to be slightly cracked open, the other closed. And 4 walls and a ceiling, and 2 crates, seemingly. Seems to be like a edge of like mason work. That seems to catch where the foundation hits. Small bricks laid there.
Is there any like carvings in the stone or anything? Like in the brick at all?
Roll perception.
I take a swig off the brandy and I hand the bottle back to Loud Scout.
Okay.
And then I reach up and clutch my holy symbol. And I cast Detect Magic, and then the eye on my shield starts to glow with a silvery white light.
Sure.
In the pupil. And there's like a faint outline of the eye that's all lit up. And I cast Detect Magic. And I'm also scanning the room.
Sure.
Nice.
I rolled a 16 for my perception check.
Okay.
I rolled
Loud Scout rolled a 16.
Metolius rolled a 17.
Okay. As you cast Loud Scout, none of the stones look as though they have any carvings on them. They all look exactly the same. Oddly so. As though made, maybe brick, but also a lot of these are stone. So it looks a little weird.
Okay.
But as Metolius parses Detect Magic out and lets the aura kind of fly, as your eye glows, you see a faint glow about 6 feet above the ground, ringing one of the bricks on the far corner wall.
Ooh. Interesting.
Loud Scout, not seeing this, starts to walk over towards the crates.
Sure.
Metolius says, I found something.
Loud Scout looks at him.
And I walk over to the wall where this brick is going, and
And as you get closer, the glow kind of grows a little bit more and more. As though it's not behind the brick, but it is the brick.
Interesting. I point to it. To Loud Scout, and
It's a good few feet above your head, but he does point specifically to the one he's talking about.
Can I roll an Arcana check on it?
Sure.
do you think I should touch it, Loud Scout?
13.
13. You get a slight hint of those magic bits, but you can't tell much about it with your Arcana check.
Can I tell if it's dangerous?
Not with a 13.
Can't tell that much?
No. Also, really not with an Arcana check.
Oh, okay. Why not?
Yeah, why not? I just grab it.
I like your reckless abandon, guys.
Didn't want to wait for the identify elf. I see how it is.
So you're just grabbing it?
Yeah. Well, do I get at school in magic? I do get at school because of Detect Magic.
Oh.
Could you enlighten me to that before
Sure.
I touch this object?
Yes.
Invocation. Well, maybe I don't touch it.
Maybe not.
Might be some good information to have.
It's true. You know that it's enchantment magic.
Hmm.
It's enchanted. somehow. Can I roll an Arcana check to determine how, with a variety of detrimental things that could happen to me through enchantment magics?
It's evocation. It's evocation magic.
Oh, no, I'm not going to touch that. Alright, well, no, I will wait for reinforcements on this one.
Okay.
Just because I know what kind of spells that can be evoked.
Those are the explodey kind.
Yes.
Oh, they can be.
They can be. We've made it this far.
Spells manipulate magical energy to produce a desired effect.
No, I get it.
I know.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Alright.
Talked me out of it.
Damn. And the courage fades. No.
Ooh, I think the DM's calling you out.
Yeah.
I don't agree. I think I was just making a joke. You can do whatever you want.
No. I'm waiting.
Okay. So that means that Rain and Elduin meet on the stairs.
And I'm gonna say, hey, Rain, I spoke with one of the students, and it seems that our friend, Mr. Bhuvoz, was particularly interested in the basement. I'm headed there now if you'd like to accompany me.
Well, yeah, I might as well. I know that somebody already went down there, but we might as well join them, right?
Yes. Yeah, let's head down.
All right.
I'm
did
slightly
you see
concerned.
anything upstairs at all?
There was a teenager who did not much like this place.
Okay.
And he was the one who tipped me off about this. But I don't know. He didn't know more than Bhuvoz's interest in the basement.
Oh, yeah, I mean, if we have a lead, no reason not to follow it.
I go downstairs.
Okay.
After we had decided
Grimtuck will
not
follow
to...
them because they have to go to the kitchen.
So you see, I figure you see Rain and Elduin start coming down and you kind of break away from the children, leaving a few
Yeah. Let them have some.
for the granny to slip on as they kind of knock him around.
She better make that saving throw.
I hope she does.
Damn it, Grim.
Luckily, she can heal herself.
Yep.
After we decided not to touch the brick, Loud Scout wanted to investigate the crates.
Do it up.
So, investigation.
Yep.
Not bad.
It's so exciting.
19.
In the crates, you go specifically, I'm guessing, to the one that's open first.
Yes.
You find grain. You find hulled wheat, just cut grain sitting in there. It seems to be a place that they keep for baking.
Can I dig through it and see if there's anything hiding in there?
Sure. Just
buddy.
dipping your little Sniffneplin fingers right in
Just
their
going for
food.
it.
That's
Yeah.
not sanitary at all.
Sure. I would like you to roll an acrobatics check to not fall in.
Please fall on the flour.
Nope, I got this.
I would pull him out.
18.
I know you would, but it would be funny to see him fall in first. 18, you're fine. You kind of jump up and kind of dangle on the edge, keeping your waist at an even level. And you start digging through. You don't find anything. It's
Nothing?
just grain.
Alright. Then I hop back down and I turn my attention to the other one.
It's closed.
Alright. I want to inspect and see if it's trapped or anything like that first.
Okay. Roll a perception check.
7.
It doesn't seem trapped.
I try to open it.
With what?
Oh, it doesn't have a lid?
Mm-mm. The other one seems to be pried open as well.
Grimtuck can help.
Metolius, we open?
Yeah, I'll try it. I'm not sure with what, but we'll see.
Don't you have that
I
large?
Loud Scout pulls off his backpack and sets it down on the ground and starts rifling through it to see if he's got anything.
Don't you have a large pointy thing?
And I pull
that
out a
could use as
crowbar.
a lever, like a
I have a
sword
crowbar.
or crowbar.
Everything stops. He's got a crowbar.
I was like, man, I really wish this character had a crowbar right
Well,
now.
don't worry.
So Loud Scout pulls out a...
It looks like
And he
Fisher Price.
he's all excited because he forgot he had it and looks at
Super
Metolius
tiny.
and just jams it in
Sure.
Yeah.
and goes for it.
We both...
Yeah, grab onto it. I'd say roll a strength check with advantage.
yeah.
Pretty good. Even better. So 19?
So after about 2 good pulls on the crowbar with you two, and at the first point, Lascott jams it in, and you see him like grab on slightly. His feet kind of not dangling from the ground, but just up enough where he's like on tiptoes. But he uses his weight and then Metolius' leverage on the back of it to give 2 good solid like crick. And as you do, you pop it open. It seems to have more grain, more food. This seems to be more like cornmeal.
I dig through it again.
I help.
Investigation, both of you.
Is there a torch scotch down there?
There is.
I think somewhere in here we've probably lit it, just because.
You both can see down here.
I know, but you know.
So you have
bright
now.
light is better than dim light.
Sure, absolutely.
Lascott got a 14.
14.
Oh, yeah. For investigation.
Yeah.
9.
9. You guys really only find the cornmeal in it. Seems to be a shipment from the farms outside of the town.
All right.
There's nothing like behind them, or can we move them? Is there anything underneath them?
You can always try.
I would like to.
Strength check to move as you are very excited to do so.
Natural 20!
Yeah, you see Loudscout like jump down and start pushing, and the thing just slides.
It does have a strength score of 14.
There is nothing underneath them.
Good effort.
It's just a void. The abyss is below. There's nothing.
Is there anything interesting about the sconce? I'd like to investigate
About the sconce? Sure. You can investigate the sconce.
Guys, investigate each one of the cobblestones next.
We already know which brick is magic.
A 6. It seems to be a very plain, basic sconce. One that's...
It's not a lever that opens a door to a secret room.
No.
Probably the magic brick would do that.
But we didn't look for secret doors, did we?
No, you did not.
We stopped once we saw the magic brick.
You stopped once you saw the magic brick. But the sconce seems to be in the middle of the room, which allows for light to imbue the whole place. That's the only thing you see. And it's simple.
Secret doors.
Sure. At this point, you hear the
so.
door open as your 3 companions start to walk down the stairs. Tromp, 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 tromp.
Okay, 16 to look for secret doors. Or...
What are you doing, investigation or perception?
I'm investigating.
Okay.
I'm getting my hands on it, but not that
Where
one
are
brick.
you looking?
But not that one brick.
Okay.
Everywhere. The whole room.
Sure.
Yeah, we just started to go around the walls
Did you
to see if we could
do
find any cracks
advantage?
Up, down. Yeah, we did advantage.
16. What you notice is that about 5 feet from where you saw, which you still see, because the spell should still be there.
It lasts for 10 minutes.
Yeah, the spell is still there. What you still see as the glowing brick, about 5 feet to the right of it, you notice that the dust that covers the floor, just at the edge of the wall, is disturbed, as though it has been wiped away.
Who finds it?
Well, you're helping him. You both do.
Okay, so I get all excited and hit him and point at it.
How far away from the stone is
5 feet to the right of it. But also, you hear the sound of your companions walking down the stairs.
Metolius, Loudscott, are you down here?
I wait till they get to the bottom of the stairs.
Sure.
And
Look, we find something.
Then I touch it.
You touch the stone?
Yeah.
So you all land down, and you see Loudscott turn.
I want my friends to experience it with me.
Sure. As the entire place no. You see Loudscott turn around, super excited. We found something. As Metolius reaches up and presses on this stone brick at about 5 feet above the ground, that inlaid with the others. And as he does, you hear kind of a rumble go off and a shake, and as that happens, bits of dust start falling from in front of you, Metolius. As the wall, as you push, you see, your detect magic sees the magic dissipate from the stone, and as it does, the wall recedes back about a foot and then slides over. The big scratch and screech of stone on stone.
Is the sound of this enough that I would assume that the children could hear it from upstairs?
You're not sure.
Okay.
It's not loud. it's still the sound of two stones rubbing against each other, but it's not like ear splitting.
Okay, gotcha.
But it looks like a tunnel?
It looks like a doorway.
What's on the other side?
Well, none of you are there, so are you just walking in?
Oh, no. Come now.
We're all down there.
You've
I
made it
just
to the bottom
wanted
of
to
the
show
stairs.
them I found a secret door.
Okay.
I didn't
Pretty
say
neat.
I wanted to walk through it
That's pretty
blindly.
neat.
Loud
You
Scout
gotta-
wants to like walk into the entrance of it
I
and
do
look
not.
around.
I grabbed
That's fine.
the
So-
robe,
so
he does
to
not.
Do you actually? Because you would have to. You could make a check to get out of his
Well, I
hair.
was just going to say, wait, just patience. Rain. Let Rain do
I
her
stand
thing.
in the doorway and look into it.
Okay.
I don't cross this threshold, but I look into what's on the other side.
You see a pathway that leads a little bit out of sight, but with the torchlight shining into this now open hallway, you get a small glint of blue stone at the very edge of where you can see.
So my dark vision's 120 feet. It goes.
It
past
turns.
that? Oh,
it doesn't go
turns.
straight.
Okay.
It turns off from. So if you're standing in the doorway, it turns and you're just catching the most little bit of
Blue
it.
stone.
Blue stone.
As in, is in blue light is falling on stone, or is in the stone
As in, it
itself
is
blue?
reflecting blue from the torchlight in the room.
Interesting.
Well,
But it's pretty high up, even compared to what you would expect them to say.
Where's a dwarf when you need to identify some stone?
True. But I'm
What
I
is
know
that
stone.
voice?
I know stone. I go look, and Loud Scout turns around to go walk
Boom.
down the hallway.
But there could be traps, Loud Scout.
I'm good at looking for traps.
Loud Scout walks in.
Grimtuck is briefly before we go. Hold on. I'm gonna go step upstairs and go talk to Fane in the kitchen.
Do you wait?
No.
No, you don't
I
have
didn't
to.
think so.
I'm just gonna walk upstairs and go tap Fane on the shoulder and be like, "Bar the basement door until we get back," and then just
And
go
she
back.
kind of looks at you and goes, "Okay."
And then just turn around, close the door.
And
As
you
I
do.
start to walk down the hallway, I cast non-detection on myself,
Okay.
Ooh.
and I stealth down the hallway
Sure.
for an 18.
You start walking down, and as you kind of move down, you all lose sight of Loud Scout as he turns the corner and continues as you're all waiting for a moment.
Let's follow him.
You're not there yet.
Oh.
Loud Scout, as you continue down, you see more and more as your dark vision. You see a large shape. Blue just where the light hits, but then with no reflection, no light in here, just darkness. It has this oddly ebon color, but it sticks out against the wall as a separate form. And you walk closer and you feel cold. Colder than a basement, colder than stone. Almost as though it's a chill breeze passes you, but you feel no breeze on your skin. Until you stand now in front of this odd altar at the very back of this room. In front of you stands this large, ebon-like creature, unmoving statue. Long, thin, almost blade-like limbs sit hanging down like a praying mantis in front of it, while its bulbous body looks that of like a hill giant's kind of bulk in between, and a very odd horned head with a large toothy maw sits right in the dead center of this mass, dwarfed by its entire form. This is about 8 feet tall and about maybe 5 feet wide.
Big and scary looking.
It is.
Can I roll a nature check to see if I may have heard any stories or know
Absolutely.
anything about it? Natural 1, so I know nothing.
You don't. But again, as you get closer, the sense of cold gets stronger. And you get a small sense of cold hits you. How close do you get?
Well, how far am I from it right now?
I mean, right now, 5 or 6 feet.
And it's just a statue, as far as I can tell?
As far as you can tell.
Loud Scout, come. Where are you?
Are you
What do
guys
you
following
see?
now?
Well, yeah, I guess he didn't trip
It's
any
been a
traps,
few-
so I guess
He didn't seem to
go.
trip any traps, and it's been a few minutes. Grimtug rejoins the party. Do you...
I guess I don't get super close. That's if I'm like 5 or 6 feet, he'd probably call it good if the thing's that
Okay.
big. So yeah,
Are
I'll start to I'll back up against the wall again and start to make my way back.
Are you bringing the torch while you walk down the hallway?
Yeah. Come on. Bright light.
Bright light.
Blue stone, right?
So you turn the corner now, and you see Loudscott kind of walking back. And as you all follow, you see this kind of almost glow of blue as the light catches it. This translucent blue quartz statue sits at the very end, looking almost like carved pure ice. And that same cold rushes through you as you stare upon this odd, deformed creature, now being able to see many more details. The carving is intricate. The small details hit you and look as though it's alive, but it's not. The craftsmanship that it would have taken to make this almost seems like a lost art of the stone itself. Loudscott, you are in awe. You have not seen such a beautiful stone in years, ever since finding.
I kind of, when I find them, I'm kind of like excited about it.
Sure.
As Elduin rolls the corner, he's gonna try to roll a die to see what that is.
Sure.
Nature?
Sure.
Or okay.
Yeah, Grimtuck is gonna do nature as well.
Oh, it was cocked, but almost a 20.
Grimtuck don't know shit. I got a 4.
That was nature check.
Yeah. Yeah, Grimtuck,
15.
you know nothing.
15.
15, you look at it, and though you can parse out different pieces that you could assume would be certain beasts or creatures or even something greater than such, you don't know what this is. You've never seen anything, even in all of your travels, that looks like this. The combination of parts, beings, and creatures that this thing encompasses disturbs you, as though it is an abomination to life itself.
That's serious.
Elduin, you know what is?
Unfortunately, I do not, friend Loud Scout. Is there anything else in the room? Like, is it just? Is it
it's
literally?
big.
Is it just a statue and a?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume so. Last 10 minutes.
It would probably be fading about the time you get where Loud Scout was previously when he first walked to this. So, like,
what do I see when I walk into the room?
A solid glow emanate from this creature. Being statue. It's not a creature.
That we know of.
Hey.
So
It jumps at you. No. Roll initiative.
I tell everyone that it's magical.
Loudscout wants to roll an
How-
Arcana check on it.
How big is
Well,
the
and you would
room?
know
yeah,
the
Yeah.
school, correct?
Yeah.
super curious what else is in the room.
You're rolling out kind of check. Let's go.
Yeah, it's a 7.
You do not. You can tell that there is a... You now feel as though the cold you felt is part of the magic. But you can't tell what. There almost seems to be divination as the school.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I can identify what this is, but first, what else is in the room?
Yes. How big is the room? How much of the room does this thing take up?
Almost the entirety of the back wall of this room.
Oh, it's
It's a-
against the back wall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
It seems...
It's not a very big room, right?
No, it's not a very big room, but this is a very big statue.
So, and there's nothing. There's no like doors or archways or chests or pits or anything else. in the
No,
room?
there's a slab right in front of at the feet of this
never
statue.
Okay.
Can we
Size
notice
slab.
anything above?
Large enough for a body.
Ominous.
Are there any
What?
parts or pieces?
They're not parts or pieces.
Well, if we have the time, I can't identify what this is.
Yeah, let's stay back.
Yeah.
It is enchanted with divination magic.
Divination, you say? I'm no expert, but
If we get too close, maybe something could see us.
could see us. That is worrisome.
We could see something, but maybe something could see us. Divination magic is very tricky.
Well, what say you? Are you willing to wait for 10 minutes or so?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll just
absolutely.
kind of shake his
Smoke
head.
break. Just kidding. Yes. Don't
You
smoke
do need
cigarettes,
to
kids.
touch it, though.
I have to touch it to do
You
identify?
choose one object that you must touch throughout the casting of this spell.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
man.
Okay.
We should probably throw a rock at it or something.
Yeah, I
first.
was gonna say, or like poke it with an arrow or something.
Does flame do anything weird in this cold environment?
No.
Of the torch?
Throw the torch at it.
It does appear to be ice, does it not?
Just do it. See what happens.
Are
Would
there
you
any
like
rocks
to
on the
ro-
ground?
Are there any rocks?
Yeah.
There are a few. Just here and there. But would you... Actually, that's good. You know rocks. Would you like to roll a nature check on
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
Yo, dog, what kind of rocks is these?
Rock that roll.
13.
You notice that this is pure azure quartz. A very rare stone. One you haven't seen for a very long time since you were in the Underdark.
Huh.
It usually forms in a mixture of both heat, cold, and pressure almost simultaneously.
Say, wait a minute. I see before. This rock, I only see it very, very far below ground.
You know, at least you have knowledge that this is a very magically inclined stone, hence why it would be used for anything magical.
It's very rare. It has lots of uses for magic.
Is it valuable?
Very.
Yes.
Is it workable? Do you know? Is it something that can be easily worked with? Carved?
Like I said before, this is something the craftsmanship surprises any of you looking at it.
No, this stone very hard.
Easily breakable if you're not careful. That kind of. It's very hard to work with.
I don't like it.
What do I have in my
smash
pack?
it.
So first off, I would like to take out a sheet of parchment,
Sure.
an ink pen, and I'm going to start sketching the shape of this statue.
Okay, go for it. Probably takes you a good few minutes. Your detect magic spell dissipates.
Okay.
And as you guys are standing around this, how far away are you from this?
6 or more feet back.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not.
Out of reach of an 8-foot creature. No.
I definitely would not be any closer than anyone else would
Okay.
yet. So,
Yeah.
like, if no one else has approached
Standing-
it, I definitely have.
Standing in the presence of this statue, the cold sets in to you. You feel it in your bodies. Not like a just you feel like goosebumps. As you're
What's a creepy statue of a fat praying mantis?
yeah.
Does that have Does that have other bug-like features?
Seems to have about 4 eyes, but everything
About
else
4
about 4 eyes. Everything else seems pretty fleshy.
Okay.
Nothing else seems very bug-like. You do notice that there are sharp bits kind of strewn, just small, almost like rocky outcroppings on this creature all along its back, and
It's
it's
got like a texture to its body.
definitely has a texture to its body.
Okay. Weird. It's unnerving.
Loud Scout, should we do their thing where you create fire on it? Perhaps we should. I mean, the cold emanating from it is concerning. Maybe we should burn it.
I feel like cold definitely part of magic.
So don't burn it?
I think we need to know more. are you? And he kind of looks at Elduin. Is there anything you can do to find more?
I can, but I am wary of just touching it. I would feel more comfortable if it were touched with not my hand first.
So Lat's sitting on the ground, probably like 10 feet from it, and he just picks up a pebble and like throws it at it.
Okay. You just hear a resonant.
After
Nothing
that happens, Rain says, I can't believe I'm the one saying this, but should we inform the guards that we found something before we go and break anything or like set off anything?
The statue has taken control of Rain.
We must kill her. She can't be trusted.
Master
she's
Paladin,
my lady.
I've heard that paladins have the ability to detect evil. Is that true?
That is true. I would have to come back tomorrow for that.
Ah, I see.
Because it is not within my power today.
I see.
Shucky dang darn.
Yeah, well, you know.
Hey.
I feel pretty good
Do
about
you
doing
suppose that-
detect magic.
Do you
so
suppose that the cleric above might have this ability?
That is a solid question. Let's find out.
Well, you have.
Let's go tell the guards. Well, what do you all think? Should we?
That seems prudent.
The
It
clerics
is-
seem to be.
It is what we were told to do. So.
Perhaps
None
we
of the
should not even
guards
concern
can hear
ourselves
us from
with
here,
this.
right?
No,
Like, I
we're
wouldn't
right.
think any guards
No.
are... Okay.
None of the guards can hear me.
I mean, well, if it turns out that Cassandra is the governing body of this land, I'm not trying to piss anybody off. Like, so I say we tell the guards.
I think so.
That would certainly win us the favor of the captain as well.
I wonder what this has to do with frog people in the swamp. Or our goal of the mountain. This is an odd detour.
Very
Yes.
insightful, Grimtuck.
What?
But, yeah.
The fuck did you say to me?
I don't think we have anything to gain out of this other than... I mean, like, I think we've already proved he was hiding something.
Oh yes, I think we should. Yes, I don't like this. It seems bad.
I have a bad feeling.
I don't think we should let anyone near it, but I think the guards need to know about it.
Yes. I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
We
Elduin
Yeah.
will head upstairs.
Yeah.
we moonwalk out of there.
as
We, as far as I'm concerned,
I stay
we
watch.
tell the guards, we go collect some hands,
All
we
right,
get
but
our
don't
gold, and
touch.
we leave.
Don't touch.
I am so curious, though.
yeah, guess you are.
I will ask the gods if I might identify it later. If we have nobody who can truly discern the nature of this thing from afar today.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. They've already accepted our help and by other magical means. I don't know why they wouldn't let us help them figure out what this is.
Yes.
Indeed.
So we backtrack upstairs.
Sure.
Go
As they
upstairs.
filter out, Loud Scout's gonna get up and like move to like the back wall and like just sit on the other side of the room from this thing and just kind of like you said, be in awe of it.
You feel like it's looking at you, but it's not moving. You feel eyes upon you.
Creepy.
It's just carved so perfectly that it's hard to say that it isn't looking right back at you.
I hate this thing. It creeps
And I sit
me
there.
out.
I
don't
sit
like
there and
it.
drink.
Yeah.
And I wait for everybody
I
to come
drink
back.
drink my fear
So,
away.
As you
Oh,
walk up,
actually, so knowing that this is from back home, I'm now going to pull out my flask and see what the drow from the bar left me.
Oh.
you taste it. You've had it a few times. It seems to be Silvery Moon brandy.
All right.
All right.
More so back home, as in the coast. Maybe not specifically underground.
Okay.
So you all, who's going first up the stairs?
Grimtuck would be
Okay.
heading out.
So as you
He's so confused.
As you push the door open, you hear a loud crash come from in front of you, and the children scream and rush out the door, and the old woman, You said bar the.
Yeah, sorry. Can we borrow you for just a moment?
Oh my god, that was amazing.
Sure. What did you need?
So, you're a cleric, correct?
Yes.
A holy woman?
I am.
Do you mind, are the guards within earshot?
Yes, they are.
Would you mind, maybe asking for them and yourself joining us in the basement? We need an expert opinion on something. And I believe that your, certain, I want to say, holy knowledge would come in handy.
Okay.
It's hard to explain. I think I just have to show you.
And the guards, hearing this, kind of walk in and goes, "You two have found something? You all have found something?
You could call it that.
And by that time, I'm sure we've gotten...
Yeah, you're all there.
Come look.
Yeah, just come look.
And he kind of looks at Dadel and goes, "Please, Dadel, watch the door. Make sure none of the children leave." She goes, "Oh, okay. I will be careful." And he goes, "Don't worry. It's just a basement after all."
Well, now we're definitely dead.
Yeah, right?
Well, he's dead. He's the NPC.
Yeah.
He's the red shirt.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yes.
red-shirted.
So,
Immediately red-shirted.
all of you walk down into the basement as Dadel continues to watch the house and the children. Make sure none of them leave and no one comes in. You all make it downstairs and lead them through the hallway.
To this fucked up statue.
Yeah. You find Loud Scout sitting there drinking a flask, no longer drinking the brandy.
I was actually going to say, as I hear them coming, I put my flask away and I pull out a bottle of brandy.
Got it. Drinking the brandy in front of it, sitting against the wall away from the statue. And you see that the cleric looks, and as she kind of turns the corner, a breath of just like, as Fane looks upon this thing, this creature, and she just is startled while the guard stands there and just goes, "What by all the gods' name is that? How did you... what is this place?"
We don't know. This statue, he kind of like shrugs as he says statue. We're not really sure what it is. He's enchanted with divination magic and is giving off an aura of coldness.
We were hoping the cleric would maybe be able to tell us more.
What is it you wish me to tell you?
Is this thing evil? Is it... what?
Could you discern some sort of
Purpose.
purpose or gain insight into its intent?
We don't know much about religions, but this looks like a religious symbol of some sort. The altar, more than anything, gave it away.
I mean, it definitely looks like some form of primitive, like, edifice. But religion, I know not.
We had.
I will roll a religion check on that, though.
Oh, assist.
Dirty 20. Well,
Dirty 20.
alright, he's assisting. Another dirty 20.
Double dirty.
Double dirty 20s.
Double dirty. You don't know. You don't recognize. Even with a 20, it could be any number of very primitive religions based around single gods of some kind. There have been things of a nature. The problem is you know not this god.
Yeah.
But
I
it
didn't
looks
think
as...
I would.
No, but
I didn't even think about religion until Grimtuck mentioned
Sure.
it. So.
But by all rights, the setup, the altar, the carving of some magic stone, it feels like a primitive religion of some kind.
Even though there's like no discernible viscera or like evidence of any kind of like sacrifice.
There was no pieces. That was all you guys asked for.
Oh.
Okay.
You guys,
Well, alright.
No one investigated the actual slab to like.
Can I?
We gotta get closer.
Can
to
I
that.
take the altar into consideration with the religion check as I look upon this altar from 6 feet away?
From 6 feet away. Cute. You do. You look at it, and what you notice as you kind of pay more attention to it is you find slight grooves and a small shelf right underneath this odd groove that kind of grooves off one corner and sits onto what seems to be a shelf. In this dark stone, there seems to be a slight bit of shadow or something staining just the edge of it.
Wait, what? It's staining the edge of the altar?
Well, so rectangular altar with a groove that leads over one corner, and the groove kind of runs down into this small little shelf.
That's for.
Does this look? Yeah, I was about to say. Do I notice this as a religious sort of
Sacrificial? Sure.
Yeah. All right. Looks like Looks like there were some acts committed upon that altar, as he says it's the fane.
Does the blood look like it's collecting anywhere? Like still there?
It's too far away to see.
You are not that close.
All right.
So
I'll go
Elduin,
check it out. Sorry.
One second, Grimtuck, and then I'm going to turn to the guard. What's the guard's name?
The guard is
Argan.
Yeah, Argan.
Argan, with your blessing, might I inspect this statue up close? I would. I have a few means at my disposal to identify this
He
statue.
looks at you and goes, "I'm not touching that. Yeah, go for it."
So I'm going to do a few things. First, I'm going to get up to 10 feet away from it, and then I'm going to use prestidigitation to create just the smallest little spark up against it.
Spark?
Yeah, you can light a torch with prestidigitation.
Sure.
So I'll just apply a splash of flame to the side of it.
Nothing seems to happen.
Okay.
Instantaneously, the spark goes out. I mean, but by all rights.
But it would anyways.
It would anyways, exactly. So you don't really gain much from that.
Okay. I'm going to take my pack off.
Yep.
And set my weapons down on top of it.
Okay.
And I'm going to walk up to about a foot away from it.
Okay.
Anything happen?
Nothing happens.
Okay. I'm going to... Teak is not on me. I'm going to have Teak sitting on my pack. And then I'm going to, sort of look back at everybody and go, I'm going to touch it.
I'm gonna touch it.
And I'm going...
Pascal, leans in, to watch.
I'm going to...
Yeah. Once he moves up to a foot, I'd probably go...
Yeah, Grimtuck's gonna
I'd
move
probably
in.
move up to, 4 foot back.
Grimtuck wants to be close enough to be able to pull him back.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the event.
I'm going to...
I'm staying nice and far behind.
Yeah, you are.
I'm going to apply my finger to the side of the altar. I'm just going to touch the side of the altar.
Okay.
Does anything happen?
Nothing happens.
Your finger is frozen in place.
Yeah. All right.
Don't dare you to put your tongue.
No.
Put your tongue on the statue.
Elduin is going to take I assume I have to move around the side of it to touch the statue itself. I'm going to move around to the
You
side
could
of
always
it.
climb over the slab.
No, I don't want to get on top of that.
I'm just saying you could.
As we
I'm
got
sure.
Closer, it's more evident that it's blood in these grooves.
Roll an investigation check. Just one more. As you get closer to notice.
Ooh, 9.
It's dark stone, but
8.
I'm going to roll because I'm the closest. Come on, guys.
Smart man, and you have a high end.
I'm not so sure about it.
Not with a 3.
I mean, you can gather from what you've seen and know as a paladin. You can assume blood.
Right.
There's not much else unless he's making juice. There's not much else that a groove would
Juice in a human.
Juice in a human.
Oof. I am going
Good old
to
human juice.
apply my finger ever so gently to the side of the statue, somewhere on the torso.
I just see this as going over and touching the slab. Nope, nothing happens.
That's exactly how I'm imagining it.
Over.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Your
exactly.
finger touches the slab, or touches the statue. Sorry.
Yeah.
And it takes 10 minutes, correct?
I'm not casting anything. I'm just touching it right now.
Your finger touches the slab, the statue.
the statue.
The statue. I got this, guys. The world around you goes black, and your eyes open, finding yourself deep set in high mountains where snow whips all around you. You breathe out and see your breath in front of you. Your body feels the cutting cold slowly creep into you. You find yourself almost unable to move.
Almost unable to move.
You now notice that upon your hands and moving up your lower half, ice begins to grow over you.
Can I?
Nope.
What happens
You
outside
all
of
just
this?
you're just seeing Elduin just touching this.
Just like-
This is
There's
happening.
nothing happening.
This is literally happening in a moment.
Okay.
Oh, he's not like.
This is like
His
a,
He's
eyes
not
don't
focused.
go-
He's not. His eyes aren't like whited over. He just started
Oh,
touching.
I want to be part of the vision. Damn it.
You didn't touch the thing.
Yeah, well.
So, as the ice grows, moments later, you find it grow over you, and now, as the sheet of ice grows, you are encased in ice, body solid, unable to move. Your eyes, the only part of you able to shift, you're able to see through as this ice is clear and pure.
Mhm.
As you look around frantically, you see the clouds in front of you that were blocking the moon shift and reveal an eclipse. The ring glowing brightly.
Wait, which ring?
The eclipse moon.
Oh,
so once
that,
the perfect
gotcha.
eclipse happens,
Yeah.
the ring around the moon shining brightly, the aurora glimmering upon the snow around you as a shadow rises, towering over you, blocking out the small bits of moonlight that shine down, too big to grasp its true form. But right before your vision goes black, 4 glowing blue eyes stare down at you. They seem to look into your very being. And
Look
you
down
find your
from.
high above you.
Okay.
So tall that it blocks the moon from your vision.
Feels like it's coming from the sky.
No.
Oh.
It seems to just stand there,
Okay.
as though emerging, standing high now above you, as though on a separate plateau ahead. But it looks down at you, and as though it looks through you, into your very soul. You come back into it, and you pull your finger away, and a moment has passed. And you breathe out, and you all see Elduin's breath in front of the coal, in front of the statue, and a shiver crosses his body.
I touched the statue.
Wait. You weren't gonna wait for my report before you touched the statue?
I mean, all he did was touch the statue and take
You
it
came
off.
back, that's all I needed. But, I mean, you don't have to describe it again, obviously, but I assume I see the same thing. Or does anything happen?
I'm going to, as soon as my finger pulls back from it, I'm just going to say, a vision. Are you still going to touch the statue?
Yeah.
All right.
Even more, with more gusto. I'll full on hug it.
Oh, God.
Not one to be outdone.
Like a Japanese body pillow.
It's just thighs across it. Just,
No,
yeah.
I
Metolius,
just put my hand on it.
Sure. You find yourself in a large open field.
Tight. This is excellent. I love this.
Around it sits as though you sit within a valley. Tall mountains line all sides. And as you kind of start to move forward, your legs moving out of your control as though running forward, you see a sword in hand. And again, this humongous form rises up from behind the mountaintops. And as it does, the world becomes encased in ice in its shadow. Everywhere its shadow touched turns to clear, pure ice. And you find yourself within that shadow. Your motion stopped. Your eyes look up. And again, that same blue glow stares deep within you. You two come back moments later. A breath.
Yeah, cold breath.
Cold.
So, I'm gonna look over at Metolius and say, "Did you see what I saw?
That is.
Tell us what you saw.
Yeah.
Did you see? I was on top of a mountain and an eclipse, and it was cold. I was freezing. I was freezing solid, and there was a large presence of some kind that rose above me with eyes. Is that what you saw?
You were able to pick out more detail, Metolius, as your distance was farther. And ahead of you stood something resembling this statue.
So, question. When we were in Cassandra's castle, in her dining room.
You saw nothing that looked like this.
Okay, that titan that we saw on the wall
Did
didn't
not
look like this? Okay.
The titan that you saw on the wall looked like it had 1,000 arms and was throwing boulders.
Gotcha. Cool. And there was no... It didn't look like everything was frozen over in that painting either.
I did not.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
I was in a field running with my sword in hand and surrounded by mountains. And a creature that looked like this rose impossibly large, and its shadow was cast across the land, and everything turned to ice, including myself. And I was looked down upon by 4 baleful blue eyes.
So it was different, but yet similar.
You try, Loud Scout.
Loud Scout kind of like looks at him like, you sure?
I grabbed his hand and put it on the statue.
Would you like to try to get away?
No, I let it happen.
Okay. As this all happens within an instant, Loud Scout, you see yourself. You look up and you see a crack above you, as though a large fissure in the stone that sits all around you. Next to you, about 30 feet off, an old man hunched over, almost elf-like in nature, but not drow. Pale in skin, long white hair, eyes milked over as though blind, and he beckons to you. He kind of motions, follow. And you feel your feet move underneath you, and you do. You follow him through, and as you get close enough and you're about to grab onto his robes, he's not there. And you look ahead of you and again follow. About 30 feet off now. And you follow him through these corridors, long, winding, broken, open stone, all throughout this cavern, until you find that you've wound all the way up this tall, spiraling walkway. Reaching the top, the precipice, you stand now in front of that fissure. And standing, this huge wall of the purest of ice sits tall and shining above you. Amidst it sits a black shape, almost as large. And as your vision returns and you return back to the statue, you see a crack appear just where the arm of the creature seems to move. And you're back once again. Your breath as though a cold day in winter.
I kind of snap back and like kind of stumble backwards, and Loud Scout says, I not see any of that.
What do you see?
I underground, giant crack in the ground, and an old man, long hair, and he asked me to follow him, so I did. And we walked through what seemed like huge crack in the earth. And he take me out, and I see giant wall of ice with a big thing in it. I don't know, but right before I come back, it seemed like it moved, and the ice crack.
Did it look like this statue?
It was hard to tell from inside of the ice.
I cannot tell. It was covered in ice.
Well,
How many eyes does the statue have?
4.
I'm going to turn around to the locals.
come on.
To the locals and say, have you heard stories of an area on this island that is encased in ice? Or a wall of ice?
This island? No. There's no ice on this island.
Any other islands?
Well, yeah. And he kind of looks at you and goes, the other island chain just go pretty far north. There are some icy portions, but it's a wasteland. No one ever goes up there.
I think Rain's curiosity gets the best of her, and she walks up and touches the
Yeah,
chef.
Yes, nice.
Come on. I'm glad you did before Grim Talk. Come on, Grim Talk, come get some of that old time religion.
Rain, you stand amidst a village. It seems to be in winter, or at least from what you can tell. There is snow on the ground, and all around it is dark, cloudy. Not much light shines through these clouds as though they are thick with storm. Minutes go by, for you, for them only moments, but you kind of start walking through this village and you notice that every once in a while a building is broken in and crumbled almost to just a husk. And then you hear the sound of feet hitting stone, skin hitting stone, as though many large creatures seem to start running and rushing closer and closer to you. And you hear the cries of someone in one of these still formed huts as they hear it too. And then over the hills just outside of the town, you notice these creatures. Long, sharp claws on each arm. Blue, bulbous skin. Huge teeth. They almost look like ogres, or trolls, or something, but wrong. Defiled. And they start to rush forward, and as they do, they cut a swath, rushing through frail bits of housing, and walls that hold these people safe, and you hear screams and touch. You see them rampage as they are taking out one thing after another, and these odd green puffs of smoke start emanating out of everywhere. And then you hear the sound of one stop behind you, and you turn. And as you do this, you now see this creature in full blue, almost carapace, insect-like in nature, long, sharpened, ragged claws sitting there where arms and hands should be. And as its long, toothy maw, it seems to have just too many teeth open. Green mist blurts straight out of its mouth, and you breathe it in and you cough, and you feel the cold overtake you as your bones begin to stretch. And you come back, and you breathe cold.
Jesus. Well, I guess that's not what I would say, but you know. That word has no meaning in this land.
Yeah, expletive.
Yeah, expletive. Inserted here.
Blaspheme.
Yeah.
Grimtuck
Well,
does
shit.
not want to touch it. I don't trust the gods as a general rule. So, especially not ones that no one in this room can name.
Obviously, I convey what I saw to you guys, by the way.
Elduin is going to
if it's a god.
Elduin is going to walk back to his pack and grab his ritual spellbook.
Okay.
And I'm going to return, and I'm going to touch the statue again and see if I get another vision.
As you touch it, a very similar vision kind of overtakes you.
Does it seem like I would be able to cast the spell while simultaneously touching it?
No.
Damn it.
Dang.
You even just in the moments that you touch it, you feel removed from your body.
Okay.
Come on, Grimtuck. Come on, dude.
Grimtuck does not trust the gods.
But we were all shown a different vision, and it could be
These
important.
might be puzzle pieces we have to piece together later.
Fine.
Would you like me to hold your hand?
I will punch you in the stomach. Grimtuck is going to go.
You don't want people to think you're afraid of statues, dude.
Ooh.
I don't much need the peer pressure. This is stupid. No, Grimtuck will touch the statue.
As you touch it, you also feel yourself pulled. And you stand amidst what looks like once a ritual site, one that could be used for good. Not altar as though sacrificial, but altar as though a place to pray. Tall columns sit around you, and you, Grimtuck, stand there alone and look, and you notice the clouds move out of the way of the moon, and the moon grows black as the eclipse occurs. And as that happens, the moon sets and the sun rises, and days seem to pass by for you. And you continue to notice that every day the sun seems to beam just a bit less, and the moon never glows as bright as whatever blocks it stays. Until finally, on the 5th day, nothing rises as morning hits, and blackness covers the land as snow begins to fall and ice rolls over all of the waters around you. You see a figure similar to Loudscott's vision, an old elf, standing at the edge of this ritual site, looking at you. He smiles. The teeth are sharp and long, but he still gives that beckon. And you notice his robes are rags. And you feel your feet move from under you, drawn. He catches you every time and continues your motion until finally you find yourself absolutely alone. And you see what looks like a person just at the very far end, a dot on the horizon rushing forward, running towards you. And as you do, you kind of feel your legs rushing forward towards it, and you meet in one quick shine from what seems to be the moon, still up when it should never be, illuminates this figure in front of you, and you see yourself covered in this blue chitinous carapace, long, almost scythe-like arms rushing forward, your jaw extended, teeth engorged and long, ragged, and you rush forward. And as you pass through yourself, your vision turns, and you see you and a group of about 20 other of these same carapace his creatures start to destroy the small outlying hill. You once again come back.
Can I search the memory in my own head, specifically towards the old man, and try and see if I can recognize any type of insignia or any type of marks?
There's nothing.
Nothing. Just
His
tattered
clothes are
robes.
ragged. All he did was continue to draw you forward.
And as far as the creatures, what do they closest resemble for anything that I've run into? Like if I were to say they look like this or they look like that. They sound kind of praying mantis-y.
Think of a crab, a praying mantis, and I mean, the forms were all not all uniform.
Okay. They were just all
some were humanoid, like just regular human size. Some were as big as you. Some were bigger.
Okay.
It just seemed that they all had that same blue carapace and those same curved, ragged blades for arms, and that same odd jaw.
Alright, I'll tell everybody else what happened. Just the best words that I have. Explaining that I transformed into some type of a large bestial creature with fangs and claws, and there were many of us there, and we began ravaging. And I'll also mention that I saw the old man. I didn't see any towering figures and four eyes, but there was a day that turned into endless night and the sun no longer shone.
As Grimtuck regales you with his vision, a shock of cold kind of grips your spines. You shiver for just a moment as you feel eyes upon you, and then no longer there. And you are all alone in this room with the guards.
I was gonna say.
No, it's just you no longer feel the pull that statue had. And that's where I'm going to leave it.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Ice monster!
Woo! Woo! Bug infection, symbiote, ice monster.
Yes. Symbiote.
Hey y'all, Chris here. You can always check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, Libsyn, Podbean, YouTube, Tumblr, at tumblr.com/blog/theswordcastadventures. You can also check us out on our Twitch at twitch.tv/swordcastadventures. You can also always find us on our socials at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Swordcast. Also check out our Patreon and Discord. Both are live right now, and on them we're putting out new art, new videos, also new recorded things, as well as I'm working on something on the Discord to actually run a role-playing game. I gotta get my ASCII down a little bit more, but we're getting there. And on Patreon, which is patreon.com/theswordcastadventures, we have a lot of really fun rewards. Just for $1, you really get to become an integral part of the Swordcast Adventure Guild, which includes emails from the cast, as well as a private Discord link. Anyways, there's a lot of really fun stuff. Check out the website, check out the Patreon, see what you think, join up, and really, it would help us out immensely. Otherwise, for now, we'll be back out on the 16th with the next episode, and, as per usual, we love you very much, and you'll hear from us soon.